Hello everyone, this is just a quick video in here, unplugged fashion. It's been a while since I've done this kind of video, but one is in order now. For starters, thanks a lot to all the new people who pledged support on Patreon, as well as those who donated through the PayPal link. It's deeply appreciated. Now, let me tell you about the things that I intend to cover this month. The purpose of this video is, of course, to invite you all to bring up new topics that you'd like to see covered, particularly in the research and analysis format. So basically, for now I intend to go one step further with the controversial topics. I already have done a video called 6 Things That Islamocritics Get Wrong, which I intend to upload tomorrow or maybe even later on today, it depends on my time. Now, I intend to make a twin video to that called 5 or 6 Things That Islamocritics Don't Emphasize Enough, because in addition to being controversial, the intention is to also craft a more efficient and disciplined way of forwarding the Islamocritic discourse. Now, I also intend to defend, as I promised in a comment a few weeks ago, I intend to defend discrimination as fundamentally good, in the same fashion that I defended cultural appropriation in this video. Now, except this time I want to go at length in a 20 or maybe even 30 minutes video in which I go to all the facets of discrimination immediately after I prove that nobody, and that means no society and no individual, genuinely believes that discrimination is bad. You're gonna love that, or at least I hope. In addition to these, I also intend to make a video with predictions on how Europe will collapse, at least economically. Now, I won't go into culture, at least not yet. Now, I've hinted to that in my videos about France. Basically, France is now the Greece of 2008. Big taxes, highly unhealthy finances, unsound economic policies, huge levels of debt, the whole 9 yards. And unlike Greece, there are no bailout money to dig France out of the shithole. So the collapse must happen, and it will be allowed to happen by the EU elites and the rest of them, because there is no way to prevent it. Now, what else? Oh yeah, I also want to dig into the education topic, particularly in the topic of school choice, homeschooling, unschooling, and all the rest of the means that go strictly against the received wisdom here in progressive Europe. Now, the topic is very important because people have been arrested and their houses have been raided by the police over the topic of homeschooling. So maybe, just maybe, there's something wrong with the received wisdom if educated and non-poor people are willing to risk so much just to avoid the state-sanctioned schools. Of course, I'll continue to keep track on US politics, and hopefully, and this is not a promise but rather a wish, maybe I'll get around to do a video about the Republican campaign and maybe explain why the Donald has a certain appeal and also why he's unlikely to be the next US president. Now, hopefully by the time I get around to make that video, some things will become a little bit more clear, because for now, making predictions is a gamble and I'm not really into that. I would rather make few and accurate predictions rather than making multiple predictions and getting most of them wrong. Okay. Let me see what else I have here in the wish list. Oh yeah, a video called Is Capitalism a Victim of Its Own Success? Now, I'm not entirely convinced that I'll get around to squeeze that one into this month, but you can be sure I'll try my best. Basically, what I want to do in that video is to go from the basic fact of life that there are no social justice warriors in North Korea or Saudi Arabia, but only in capitalist and freer societies that are evolved enough to afford such stupidity. Similarly, you won't see animal rights activism in the jungle, because when you're starving to death in the jungle, the meat corner of a supermarket is the Fata Morgana, not the carbon-neutral bowl in which the Winnies power their organic, vegan, and environmentally friendly cereals, or whatever vegan degenerates eat these days. So yeah, I intend to explore that too, and of course find some liberty-oriented trade-offs to that, because here on Freedom Alternative, we at least strive to come up with better trade-offs rather than just criticize for the sake of criticizing. Now that's essentially all I have in mind for now, in addition to covering whatever messed up news will occur during the month, of course, as I usually do. Now, if you have topics that you want to see covered, let me know, and I will consider them. Obviously, patrons and donors have priority on topics for the simple reason that they pay for the time and resources consumed in order to make these videos. Particularly the research takes quite a lot of time, and someone has to pay for that. Oh, speaking of patrons, once I reach 30 patrons or $150 per month, whichever comes first, I'll start getting into the habit of making patron-only videos, and also to give patrons access to texts that I have written and haven't published yet, and most likely have no intention of publicizing them anytime soon. It's sort of like a samizdat type of texts, if you want. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. Oh, one last thing. I bought these two. The History of Communism Through the Jokes of the Epoch of the Time by Ben Lewis. I hope it's seeable. And also this one, 10 Years of Romanian Dark Humor by Cătălin Bogdan Ștefănescu. Now, I intend to take the most translatable political jokes in these two and to bring up some that I know myself and make a nice long videos with Soviet era jokes. I promise to do that this month because I've kept on postponing on making such a video, and it's the kind of thing that needs to be done because these jokes are what kept us going and without going full nuts during the not so nice period of the totalitarian regime. For instance, this one question: what's the alternative name for the Socialist Republic of Romania? Answer: Ceausescu. Or this one: a guy stops a cab and gets into the cab, and the driver asks, "Where should I take you, sir?" "Well, take me in principle," the client replies. "What do you mean in principle?" "Well, I meant what I said. Take me in principle because the press and the TV keeps on insisting that the socialist paradise of prosperity exists in principle." Yeah. Or, let me see if I got the sign correct. Yeah, there you go. This one from 1988. Question: why does Ceausescu keep on tearing things apart? Answer: because he realized that he can't be remembered in history, so he's now trying to at least be remembered in geography. Anyway, so a lot of these are going to be included in the Soviet era joke video. So I guess that's it for now. Please do provide other ideas in the comment section, and of course, do consider that Patreon and PayPal link because without your shekels, there are no videos. And with that being said, see you around. Freedom Alternative.